Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R Show. I'm Ron.
And I'm Malcolm.
And y'all see we're in the mock draft simulator. We're doing the first round of the first 6 teams in the draft. Mon, I heard you wanted to start with the first pick. Mon said he can fix Trevor Lawrence. Let's see who's on the board, Mon.
Hey, fix Trevor Lawrence. Let's see who the number 1 pick is. GM Lamont Satellite.
Hey man. I just want to start out by saying if I had to be any GM, it would be Kevin Colbert of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I mean? Excellent 20.
Hey.
Countless fellas.
Wow.
But you know what I mean? He's never had the pleasure of picking first. So I'm gonna, fill in that role for him. And, starting out with the Jaguars, I like that they got Trevor Lawrence. They just got Doug Peterson. That's a good sign. A Super Bowl winning coach. You got a good quarterback. You know what I mean? You want to make that work. And I think they should start seriously looking into protecting Trevor Lawrence. They already started doing that by getting Brandon Sheriff. This is not a one.
Washington legend Brandon Sheriff.
Washington legend Brandon Sheriff. You never really hear about Washington legends, but
that's funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
But first off the board, can we go to tackle run? I think we're gonna get real serious about protecting Trevor Lawrence. This is not a one pick fix, franchise. I think they go Evan Neal first. We're gonna get Trevor Lawrence that left tackle that he needs. Evan Neal's only 21. He's 6'7", 350. I think he's gonna be a good guy to grow with Trevor Lawrence over the years to come. They're gonna be in line next year to get a pass rusher or even spend big money like they did this year. You guys, some young guys, and tackle and quarterback is one of the highest paid positions. So work around these young guys for a little bit.
What do you guys say about that, Mark? What do you think about Evan Neal as the number 1 selection?
Good gosh. I understand. They really did invest a lot in their offensive line this summer, especially with Brandon Sheriff and stuff like that. And I thought that they was going to. I feel like if you get a pass rush like Aiden Hutchinson right next to a Josh Allen, like that could have been like the duo, like what Vegas has as far as
Crosby and Jones.
Yeah, Crosby and Jones. Like I think that if you added a guy like Aiden, that was the potential that could be happening with this Jaguar squad, especially that defense, which I feel like they're gonna have to rely more, this season too.
Yeah, this, as we see the measures on the screen. Like this is a big boy. Like this is a big boy. He can run block. We see 0 pressures. Like in some games, 1 pressure allowed in the playoff. IMG high school. We all know what IMG, they produce stars. Like we had Darius Miles on here from the IMG Academy.
Definitely.
Like people are just I don't care what, you could be baseball, football, basketball, they're producing stars. Neal played for Alabama. He played on the right side, the left side. I think they can make it work. And then I think I do like Aiden Hutchinson's probably the best player. You just probably have to say like, yeah, we got to make Trevor Lawrence work. Like I don't care if the defense is 32 ranked. If Trevor Lawrence works and the offense is good, we just work on the next things in the following years. That's probably how I would look at it. Like you just got to make Trevor Lawrence work. I don't care what happens. You allow 50 points a game. Like you got to make Trevor Lawrence work. Like that just does not matter for a year or two of Trevor Lawrence, what the defense probably looks like. But if you're just drafting for who's probably the best player, which is not, it's the best strategy, then you probably will go Aiden Hutchinson. Any final thoughts before we push the draft button?
Yeah, like you said, just the whole idea, you got to make Trevor Lawrence work. This is one of the most important draft picks of the last 10 years. So Jacksonville got to get real serious about protecting him to make sure he lasts, and also that he wants to stay in Jacksonville for a while, because we know a lot of players do not want to stay in Jacksonville. Poverty franchise.
For sure. All right, let's get Evan Neal off the board. He is our first pick. Okay, now I am on the clock with the Detroit Lions. It says quarterback, linebacker, DB are needs for this team. I think this is a tough one with this pick, because I feel like there's a lot of reaches that they can maybe get themselves into. But I think just with Aiden Hutchinson sitting there, hometown kid from Michigan, you probably have to take him. They still need to help with the pass rush. I think you kind of have to get him off the board. I would have loved Kyle Hamilton here as well, or Stingley, but I mean, we saw, I think Hamilton's a beast, but he's a safety. He ran for a 7. We all know he's a box safety. He's probably the most valuable box safety to come out in the last 10 years. But the position that he plays is the position that he plays. And then with Stingley, we see the tape. He hasn't had a good tape since 2019 in practice against Jamar Chase. So it's going to be tough to convince that those two players are probably worth the number 2 pick. 800 just has the highest floor. What do you think about that one, Mont?
I think definitely once you see what I did in the first pick, you got to go ahead and take Aiden Hutchinson. The Lions are a team that they just kind of need whatever is best available. You look at what they did last year, getting Penei Sewell at right tackle, Jeff Okudah. I mean, that hasn't really worked out. And, you know, Detroit, they're a franchise that swallows players up. So I think Hutchinson's a good pick for them. They could always use pass. They could use everything. So it's a good pick. I just hope the development gets there. You know how Detroit is. We seen players like Ziggy Ansah.
Oh, Ansah, yeah.
Great pass rusher coming out. Waste their career in Detroit. I really don't want to see anybody go to Detroit, but somebody got to. Sorry about that.
What do you think about him, Out?
One thing I can say is we look at, and I understand Detroit in the past years have really been miserable. Like, it's been a miserable franchise, but I think that they've done a lot of good things this year as far as being very competitive. And I think when you bring a guy like Aiden Hutchinson that can be able to help out that defense, I think that can do a lot, to be honest with you. Yes, I know y'all might think I'm crazy, but I mean, that's the obvious choice. But this is the point, though. I think this is a good pickup for, Detroit to have Aiden just fall in their lap. Yes, we're talking about the second pick and Aiden just fall in their lap because, number 1 pick, Mont, is a GM. Just let go of a guy like Aiden Hutchinson. I think that is going to be perfect for their defense. And I think they made a good pickup. That's a great pickup, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is his floor here. Like, can he fall past 2 before we move on? I'm not sure he falls past 2.
Yeah, he's not falling past 2.
Yeah, he's not falling past 2. Let's get him on the board for Detroit. And
I really like this spot for him for Hard Knocks. He can get
they're on HBO as well.
Hey, me and Malk are Hard Knocks guys. I can't wait to see it.
We definitely are Hard Knocks guys, so I'm definitely excited. But this is for the Houston Texans.
Every position,
right? Hey man, every position that they need, they just need help. Period. And so that's why when you look at stuff like this, you be able to look at guys who could be that next transcendent guy. And I'm looking at Kayvon from Oregon. If you look at this guy right now, he could be one of the pillars on your defense as far as Houston. He's a freak athlete who's 6'5", has a deal size to play defensive end in the NFL. You're talking about a guy that's going to probably work well with Lovey's system, the way he does things. Lovey Smith is a defensive coach. You add in a guy like Kayvon to that defense with Lovey Smith, I think that it will do very good. We talk about Houston. I think Houston does a good job being able to develop their players. Yes, they're trash right now, but they let everybody go. They sold everybody. So you bring in a guy like Kayvon, I think this is going to be perfect for what Houston has to do and finally have a building block on defense where they can be able to start off with.
Yeah, I mean, he was like the number 1 pick coming into the season. Not the best. I mean, still a good 2021, but definitely probably you expect him to be a little better. He's still the youngest of the edges we've talked about so far. He has all the measurables. I mean, people are saying they don't like him because he has his own crypto Discord. I've been seeing everybody laugh about that on Twitter, but I think he's fine. I mean, I think once he goes to the league, I think he'll be a good player. But especially with like Mark said, with Lovey Smith as his coach, someone that's known for getting talent out of all of his defensive players, I think it'll work out. Come on.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a good building block player. Like, you definitely get a guy in the building while you're pretty much starting a very long rebuild, in my opinion. Could be a premier edge rusher in the league. I really like him coming out of Oregon. Of course, like Ron said, he was the number 1 pick coming into the college football season. So the fact that he dropped down to 3, anything can happen in the draft, but it's a good pick for Houston. And with them having 2 first-round picks for the next 3 years,
yep.
That'll speed up the process a little bit, but I like the pick.
All right, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. You could probably argue a couple of guys, but he's probably a pretty good choice there. I mean,
yeah, I mean, this is GM work by Malcolm Napier right now, so I'm gonna be able to pick the right, available players for the franchise.
Yeah, because I've seen Trayvon Walker mocked to him by but I've seen this 3 pick has been Walker for a lot of the draft experts, but we all know he's raw, so maybe we'll see him in the next 3 picks. But so we're gonna get Thibodeau on the board. Now we are with the New York Jets, Mont. Let's make this pick wise for Zach Wilson. Let's make this a very wise selection.
A wise selection for Zach Wilson? No. This pick is not going to be for Zach Wilson. I definitely think they're making plays for Zach Wilson. They got him last year. They're going to need some more protection, but I do think they got a young left tackle. Of course, Morgan Moses at the right tackle, not really the best, and the line's still shaking up. But I think we're going to take a pick for Bob Saleh right here. Defensive coach, within his first 2 years, you got to get him a defensive guy. You can't get a coach whose mindset is defense. And you don't want to give him any guys to put in his defense to see what he can work with. So I think in this pick, the Jets take Derek Stingley from LSU. They're going to get a lockdown corner out there in New York. This is one of their needs. They got a good safety over top of the Marcus May. They got pieces around the defense. Of course, it's not complete. But for this Jet team, I think they could get a nice young corner right here at 4 and just keep building. They got another pick later. So maybe a tire could still be there later. But you get a guy for Bob Saleh.
Bob?
Stingley, yeah. I feel you. I guess it's based off, injuries and make sure he's good. That he did not have a good year this year compared to what people thought that he would have, based on what he had like a couple of years ago. But I think that I'll look at a guy like Kyle Hamilton, a guy that can be able to do it all for that defense. Especially, when you look at a guy like Rob Saleh, he likes his guys, he likes versatility. And I think you have a guy like, Kyle Hamilton, who could be a linebacker, who could be a safety. I understand that the speed is just not there. But, at the end of the day, you look at film and you see how fast he can really be, and right now seeing that stuff, that's just not him on the field. Because at the end of the day, people can run faster on the field than they do as far as, 40 time, I guess, in that type of way. But I think Kyle Hamilton would have been a very good pickup. Now, I'm not trying to, deny every pick that you have, man. I understand what you're saying, but, and Kyle Hamilton, I feel like he
at this point, it's like, no. Now, Stingley,
he don't got to start acting like we agree. He don't got to start acting like we agree. I expect it. Go ahead.
Hey, we never agree on nothing. That's the point.
I think Hamilton's definitely probably gonna be the better player in the league. But it's like the Jets. Like at first, Marcus May is a Saint. He left the Jets. They need him. I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he left the Jets.
Yeah, he left the Jets. So they don't pay safety for some reason. So it's like, all right, yeah, I would probably go Kyle Hamilton, but you let go of Jamal Adams, you let go of Marcus May. They clearly just don't value that position. You've had 2 Pro Bowl caliber players they've let walk for. They got to steal for Jamal Adams, but they still let him walk regardless. So
what could be the point? The point could be like we have potential to get another guy who's going to be good in Kyle Hamilton, and he's going to be able to do the same thing that he was able to. Jamal Adams was able to do for us, and Marcus May. Well, Marcus May was a little bit more
He was Pro Bowl caliber, yeah.
Yeah, but this. I would get probably close to the same production as my last 2 people on the cheaper contract. So, it's the way that they're probably thinking too, because at the end of the day, yeah, like they said, they let go guys like Jamal Adams, let go guys like Marcus May, but they replaced Jamal Adams with a guy like Marcus May, and they might replace a guy like Marcus May with a guy like Kyle Hamilton. So, they probably see what's on their draft board.
Plug and play, wow.
Yeah, plug and play, easy. That's something they're doing right, I guess. It's one thing franchises do right. That might be something that they're doing right, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're going to get Stingley on the board. I think, like Mont said, they probably will get some for my guy at pick 10. So I feel like they should just go to whoever they think is the most talented player on the board at pick 4, which is for them, Derek Stingley Jr. All right, now we have the New York Football Giants on the board. It's a lot of ways they can go here as well. I see O-line on the board there, as in any position is any position could be got here for them, really. We're probably going best player available. I'm definitely looking at a couple of guys. I'm thinking, because I'm wondering, there's still 2 tackles on the board that they like, but they have pick 7 has been, they also have pick 7. So there's only 1 pick between this whatever Malcolm would draft for the Panthers. This is a tough one. I guess they'll still be able to get one of the tackles. So I think I'm going to go with, this is tough. I'm going to go with Sauce Gardner here. I have to go with my CB1 on the board. He's a dog. He tweeted today, I'm the best player in the draft. The guy has come. He told his family he's already made it. He hasn't even been drafted yet. The guy has it. You're going to the biggest media market. He's going to be like Jalen Ramsey for this team. That's the type of personality he's going to bring to this team. In this type of market, they're going to either going to eat him alive or he's going to be amazing. I feel like he's very like that. Press corner coming in. They're trying to trade James Bradbury as well with that huge contract. I think he goes right in there. He starts day 1.
Yeah, but I understand. No, trust me. Amari Gardner is one of the best players in the draft. I feel it. Top 10. But I have to go tackle. I got to go tackle because at this point,
you can go tackle at 7.
Yeah, but you don't think a guy like Ecom from North Carolina State would be able to get off the board? He'll be on the board by then. I mean, because you got Carolina could go quarterback or tackle. We don't know which one, to be honest.
Wait and see.
Because,
I'll tell you which one. How about that?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they still need a tackle regardless. Like if they get a quarterback, they need a tackle. They get a tackle, they need a quarterback. But if we think about it, they got Sam Darnold and stuff like that. And they might wait another year with Sam Darnold because they feel like they could be more, or and they could just get a tackle because at the end of the day, Sam Darnold did not have a good offensive line. He did not come into a situation with a good offensive line. So they might use that experiment again because they didn't trade for Jimmy Graham. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo. I meant they didn't trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. They didn't look into Baker Mayfield. So
yeah. I think that the Giants might think about Sauce here too because a lot of experts have also mocked Sauce to the Panthers. I've seen that in a lot of mocks. They want J.C. Horn on one side and Amari Gardner on the other side, so just bump and run, absolute dogs on both sides. So I would be scared that he would possibly be gone, even though that's not a need for Carolina. But it seems like there must be some rumor about Carolina liking what Amari Gardner brings to the table. And I'm not sure who, because they might think Cross is better for all now. I don't know. I mean, Cross also 0 sacks last year, highest pass blocking grade. Ikem Okongwu, best run blocking right tackle. But I don't know how it translates to the pass. So it's going to be tough. What do you think, though, Mont?
I mean, I'm not mad at Sauce. I definitely think he will be there at 7. It's really no rush to take him. But, you do get a corner and, you hold over till you take your tackle at 7, in my opinion. If you're the Giants, those are your target picks, though. But in the sense of Kyle Hamilton, it's seeing him slide is not it's not a vision of him. It's just when you look at these teams and what they need, tackle comes first, corner comes first, edge rushing comes first. So
yeah.
Sauce is probably going to be the right pick, whether you get him at 5 or 7.
Let's get Sauce on the board, and Malcolm has the last pick of this mock draft.
All right, so we did talk about Carolina and what they're going to need and, what you're afraid of. And I said, they're looking at quarterback or tackle, but I think that they're going to be I think they're looking at guys like Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis, to be honest. And I think that they're going to come out with Malik Willis. Because if you think about it, like I said, you have a guy like Sam Darnold already on your team that can be able to be that bridge quarterback that you need for right now. Malik Willis, you see the potential that he can be able to bring with that arm talent, the ability to be able to scramble, his ability to be able to pick up and understand the offensive plays, the playbook, quickly. I think those are really big, enticing things for the Carolina Panthers. And if you have a guy, they want a guy like Malik Willis. You know, they want a guy that's going to be able to, you know, move around in the pocket, that has the scrambling abilities. And you have a guy like Sam Darnold as a starting line, you know, as a starting quarterback for the next couple of years, and have Malik Willis develop. That's what they're going to probably want and be satisfied about it. So I got Malik Willis is going to Carolina.
So, Ma, who do you think is better in year one, Malik Willis or Sam Darnold? In year one,
I'm a big Malik Willis fan. So if the Carolina Panthers take him at 6, my hope is that Malik Willis don't touch the field in year one, because that is just an atrocious situation for him. I mean, I kind of like Matt Rule. I think Matt Rule is an offensive mind that could probably help him, but like Malk said, they don't have any pass protection. And I'm the kind of guy that if I'm gonna have a little running back, I need a big quarterback just to offset that. Like if I'm gonna have a smaller QB, I need a big power back so I could block for him. So it's just like, I don't know if I necessarily like the fit for Malik Willis there. You know what I mean? Your weapons is not really much. Roby Anderson might leave. DJ Moore, I mean, he's solid, but I don't see it. You know what I mean? Tommy Tremble at tight end. Like I said, they don't have any blocking. It'll be good for the Panthers, but I don't like it for Malik Willis. I just don't like that for Malik Willis.
Yeah, and he's coming in. This is Cam's team. Like he's coming. Like you're literally another black quarterback in Carolina. I know this will make a lot of Carolina fans happy, though, to see Malik Willis probably on this team. My thing I'm scared of is that I think he'll probably be closer to better than Sam Darnold year one, and that might force him on the field. And it's like, that's the scary part. Like, he might just be better than him in training camp. He's gonna look better than him in training camp. I guess you're gonna see him throw. You're gonna be like, okay, he's better than this guy. Like, he's just better. Like, then Sam's probably gonna look scared because, you know, he's not good with the pass rush. It's like, you don't want to force Malik out there too early. But if this is what they want for their team building forward, this is probably the best pick.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. I think that if you look at it, like, I feel you know, mine says, you know, a Steelers guy, he would love if Malik Willis went to the Steelers. Yeah, that was cool and all. It's not going to happen. Okay, well, it's not gonna happen with that offensive line either. But I think that we have to just look at the fact that Carolina has a plan. If they bring in because you know they already have Sam Darnold. So if you bring in a guy like Malik Willis to the equation, you already have a plan that you're going to sit in the first year, because you already have a guy like Sam Darnold who can be able to give you average production. He's not going to, you know, kill it for you at a point. And then, yes, you said it's Cam Newton's team. It's not Cam Newton's team no more. Cam Newton, it's never been Cam Newton's team since he left Carolina. Yes, he came back. Everybody's happy and glad, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not Cam Newton's team. But Cam Newton will be a very good, you know, teacher for a guy like Malik Willis, because, you know, people do a lot of comparisons as far as, you know, their, you know, scramble abilities, the ability to run the football and stuff like that. You know, Cam can be able to bring Malik Willis under his arms, but is Cam really going to stay there that long? You know, for that to happen, probably not. Cam will probably be likely gone. So I think Malik Willis is a very good pickup for Carolina. I know the fans will be happy. The organization will finally feel like they have their quarterback of the future, so you don't have to trade too much. They got a guy that fell right into their laps, and I think they're going to be accepted with that.
All right, let's get Malik Willis to the Carolina Panthers, and let's see.
I'm just not too sure with any team whose idea is to for this draft, taking a quarterback and saying we're gonna sit him for a year, and if we're likely gonna be picking in the top 10 again next year, why are we taking quarterback this year? When I focus on that's just my whole thing. Why I think Carolina it's not good for them either. But at the same time, you missed them out, the GM. Hey.
I mean, I didn't want to say nothing, but was you saying that about your Steelers too? About in a way, as in like they get a guy like Malik Willis for them to be average, and then you know it makes no sense of.
We're not focusing on picking in the top 10 next year. We're focusing on still going to the playoffs. So that's just my thing. If you're a team and you're trying to build, and you're saying we're going to take a quarterback just to have him ready for next year, the quarterbacks next year are going to be better. So, you know what I mean? That kind of defeats that purpose, because you probably will find a better guy than Malik Willis next year.
And you're right.
When I get that tackle to help him.
And you're right, but the point is, the fact is, like, you have to think about it in a way, like, you look at teams like the Eagles, you know, the Giants, they have draft capital that you never know. They can be able to pick up earlier in the draft. You don't know. You don't even know if there's a chance that you'll be able to get picked top 3. You might get top 6, and then the 4 quarterbacks might get out.
The team's not terrible. I mean,
the team is not bad. They have
not the worst. It's not the best.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not the worst because they have a defense. And their offense is getting better. They just, you know, need to find a solid offensive line. And I don't think that they're going to be top 5. They might be a top 10 team in the draft. But if you think about it, there's teams that are going to be able to have more draft capital than Carolina has. They can be able to trade ahead of them. So right now, what you need to do as Carolina, you need to figure out a guy who has immense potential and be able to sit him down and be able to develop him. Maybe next year you can be able to find a tackle in the draft. So you're going to have a starting tackle with a guy like Malik Willis coming for the second year.
Yeah, I mean, if they're building towards the future and you're thinking, okay, let's just get the quarterback that we want, that we're gonna have for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
let's get him in the building early, work on him for a year. We have 4 more years on the rookie scale deal. Then let's do it. My own thing is Matt Rule might be gone, so that's like, dang.
That might be the only.
I wouldn't keep Matt Rule for another year. I thought he should have been gone last year. So it's like.
I mean, Rule don't got a quarterback. I think that's his main benefactor. If he's able to get that quarterback and he can get Malik Willis and feel like
quarterback for him.
Well, yeah, Sam Darnold just got injured.
Yeah, he's not good.
Things spiraled out of control after that. So,
I'm not a Sam Darnold guy either, but you know what I mean. It still is going to be a representation of you, and I don't think a quarterback should be another representation of a bad Rule pick.
Yeah, let me do this, but yeah. So I mean, just any final thoughts on our mock draft? Who had the worst pick? Maybe then we can end the episode like that.
Obviously, you know I'm gonna say Mont had the worst pick of picking Evan Neal and the number 1 pick in the draft. You know I'm gonna definitely say that. Yes, if you think I have beef with Mont, I don't. I just want to make sure Mont know that's just not a good pick when you have Aiden Hutchinson just standing right at you. And you can have that combination of Josh Allen and Aiden Hutchinson. Like, whew, that duo would be crazy for you just to skip upon. Especially that the secondary for the Jacksonville Jaguars is really not that good. So you need that pass rush, and you add that pass rush with Aiden Hutchinson. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, that's an easy pick.
First of all, I'm gonna say Malcolm is a Washington fan, so he's not used to stuff that makes sense. And the fact that I helped him get the best pick of taking Aiden Hutchinson and keeping him in Michigan, going to Detroit, he doesn't appreciate that. So, you know what I mean? In my opinion, I think the Jaguars could benefit listening to me. Let them take another pass rusher and mess up Trevor Lawrence. That's fine. Hey.
Well, I'm so weak. Well, on that note, if you are listening on our Apple, our Spotify, iHeartRadio, any other medias or YouTube, make sure you are subscribed and sharing and commenting on the podcast. Thank you. Wow.
Hey, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, on Twitter at Malcolm Ron Show. You know, Ron has a lot of crazy takes. He talks about his Wizards and his crazy Cowboys. But make sure y'all tune in. Mont's doing very good with the, Instagram and stuff like that, putting stories out there. So make sure y'all tune in. Appreciate y'all and have a good one.
All right.